Hi everyone, it's me with this daunting task of putting my camera in a way that I want to put you guys forward instead of uh, the selfie section. So I have to watch where I'm going. I decided to check in with y'all on a regular basis for this month. I am downtown right now. Um, want you to see what's happening here, especially since I decided I want to get in my 30 minutes, in addition to the fact that it's a beautiful day. It's sunny, bright. It is, I don't know what the temperature is, but it's great. So I'm going to turn you around, keep on talking. Okay, so I am going to try not to get anyone, personal, whatever. So here is a view of the skyline. And I had some errands to run, so I decided that I would just take a walk. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for the shaky hand camera. I have to go in my file and see how to do that. Because my other camera, well, this is a phone camera. My other phone camera had a shaky hand section, but this phone, I use it to videotape primarily because my apps don't work on it. As soon as I bought it, I'll say a month or two later, it started acting weird. So it can take calls, go on the internet, go to YouTube, but that's about it. All the apps on here just are incapacitated, and it's in some mode that the company claimed they can't fix. So it was a defective phone, but you know how that is. You never get your money back. So I use it to videotape, and I like the flexibility of using my phone camera to videotape. Excuse the noise. I think there's some construction going on down here, but I use my phone to videotape because using a traditional camera has its own limitations, and I like to upload my video as soon as I get it and not edit on the camera and all of that. But I will be doing that. This is just my way of doing it right now. All of that may change. I'm gonna cross the street here. There's a couple of stores. I've been living in this town a long time, and there's a couple of stores that I actually went in. I've only been in a couple times. This is one of them. Wisconsin Cheese Mart. Why haven't I been in this store before? Let me see if I want to go in here. First of all, here's our river walk. I'm going to go there first, and then I'll walk up. I want you guys to see the river walk. They've done a lot of work on it. It's very nice, especially in the summer. Yeah, it looks pretty dead down here, doesn't it? So let's go look at the river for a minute. I'm contemplating walking over this bridge. This is newer because the last time I was down here, like in this part of the section of the downtown area, this was not here. So let me just walk partially on the bridge, I guess. I suppose it would be nice to walk on the river walk. Here it is. If there's any glare going on, I apologize. Here's the skyline. So let me talk about, I'm a real estate agent, so I want to talk about these properties right here. These are condos. And actually, when I was in college, and I was an adult, believe me, I was about 28, 30 years old when I first went back to school. And I was in an interior design program, but I was always interested in real estate. Let me see if I could get a close-up. And they had just put these, this downtown looked nothing like this, by the way. And I don't even know if they considered it downtown, to be honest with you. Downtown has been annexed into all kinds of neighborhoods. But these condos were brand new built, and they were quite expensive because at that time, it may have been in the 90s, property values were just outrageous. So back then, which was I think in the 90s, these may have been a couple 100K. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. I just know that I did get to go inside of them when they first built them. That has been close to 30 years ago. They still are beautiful. And I think they're so beautiful on the inside. I haven't been in any. I don't know anyone who lives in them, but I just think they're great. And they have these slips here for if you have a boat. And, you know, it was forward thinking back in those days, I have to say. And I like to see cities and towns kind of move forward when it comes to like what's going to happen 10 years from now. That is what I like to do. For me, it's strategy. And they knew back then they had to take that risk that 30 years ago this would be the shit. This would be the place. SHYT, by the way. And yeah, so the Riverwalk here, though I like the street section I was on, the Riverwalk here is so beautiful, especially in the summer. But it's a nice, beautiful winter day, so I thought I'd take you for a little stroll. And these are like party boats and things like that that you can take. And I totally, like, in the summer walk downtown, but I don't walk down here that often, especially when it's cold out or in the winter, because I don't like being outside in the cold. I just stay close to home. I usually drive, so but thought I'd give you guys a view of the town. It's really a city, fairly mid to large city. You'd never know it. By the looks of it's kind of deserted now. It is January 2nd, the day after, you know, the New Year's Day. But, you know, people are at work and so on and so forth. Now, if I would have been traveling on that one street I was on, you'd see these quaint, beautiful little buildings. Now, I may not be correct, but I think when we first had a downtown, this area was really the downtown and in Milwaukee. This was the downtown. That's what I think, because those properties and the way they are. A lot of Germans, lots of cheese, beer, kind of settled around this area. The brewery, next time I take a walk, I'm going to probably try to take you to one of the breweries where the Pabst Brewery Company was. Now it's a beautiful developed land of apartments, and there's a couple of bars, there's a hotel. It's just gorgeous. I love that. I love development, especially when you take an old building or old group of buildings and put them, you know, fix them, reuse them instead of tearing them down. So that taller building, like, we don't hardly have a lot of tall buildings here, as you can see. This was about, they probably built that about 8, maybe 10 years ago, but I'm thinking more like 8 years ago. It's a condo. They also was innovative in putting that there because the area where it is, where I kind of just came from, underdeveloped for eons, like never. So now that they're putting a little bit of development prowess into this community, it's now annexed to downtown. It's actually a little more exciting than downtown. We just built a new stadium, not a stadium, like a forum where the basketball team plays, the Milwaukee Bucks. And you know, people had their issues with it. I mean, there's a lot of taxpayer dollars went into it, and there's still some challenges in this town that people feel like the money could have been spent differently. I'm on the fence on it. I believe in development, but I also believe that cities need to have a holistic plan when they're developing. So not only the popular areas or the areas with the highest tax base, but spread the wealth, spread the love, and put some of that money into neighborhoods. I mean, in a really big way. and not in spurts, because that doesn't spur other development. That is just my 2 cents, because I've been doing economic development work for community development, economic development work for a couple of decades. So, all right, I'm going to show you, this is the other part of the river. That is the Performing Arts Center. So the symphony orchestra plays there, and other things go on there, entertainment stuff. This is a hotel, which the name changed, something Kate, I think. But also within that little complex, there's entertainment, like a theater in there. I forgot, it's the Milwaukee Repertory Theater, but it's in that space. The place right there you see with the little, like, church steeple right there, that's City Hall. So they have done extensive rehab work and left it as is. There are some beautiful buildings down here. Again, like the beer barons that landed here, Pabst, who else? Who am I forgetting? Budweiser. All of the beers. I'm not a beer drinker, but all of the beer barons were here, kind of landed in this area. This is sort of the east of the town, not particularly at the lake, but east to the town, and this is where the downtown was built up. I'm going to give you more opportunities to see the city, places of interest. This is our historical society. I've been in there twice. So going into this new decade, this new year, I plan to visit a few more of these little places of interest. I've been in them a couple times, but haven't really had an interest in going into them, even though I love buildings and development and architecture. So that's what we got going on today. Thank you for joining me. Jacqueline, JW Vet Minimal. If I didn't say so before, I appreciate you. Subscribe to my channel, share it, like, comment. So I'll take all of it. Look at that. Development, right? So thanks for joining me. I will see you guys on the other side.